right in the pocket.
My goodness.
Oh, there was never a doubt about that one.
Good-looking ball.
Yes.
And now, here are your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Stripes, Doc Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Sandy's Bowling Lanes on Route 28 in Wyndham, and we have reached our ladder championship series. In this, the $2,000 Valley Window and Siding Championship, and we're going to have a good match, I have a feeling, between two guys who've done an awful lot of bowling.
Well, yeah, Bob Moran's a real true champ the last few weeks, going over 400 2 weeks ago and 380-something last show that there is, so it's going to be a tough opponent for Bob.
All right, and of course, they're fighting for that big prize money. It'll be $1,000 to the winner today, $500 for the runner-up. And Bob Moran, who's won 2 in a row, he's been the only guy in this ladder series that's been able to win 2 in a row, and now he's going to try and make it 3.
Yeah, he want nothing more than win 3 in a row, and what it boils down to is $500 to the loser, $1,000 to the winner, so it's a $500 match.
All right, we expect a good one. Bob Moran from Billerica, Massachusetts. Steve Vadney from Claremont, New Hampshire. We have $90 on the line a little later on in the home bonus ball jackpot, and we will start it all with the first ring right after these messages. Don't go away. Time, Bob Moran, the number 3 seed there with the 670 roll-off. Steve Vadney, the number 1 seed with his 694, and Steve will be starting us off here. And as we mentioned in the open, this is his 9th appearance on the program, which is more than anyone else. And in his 8 previous appearances, Steve has 4 400 series. If we get a second here later on, we'll detail those 8 previous appearances for you in the interest of historical perspective.
Well, he starts off with a $10. Steve using some brand new bowling balls, which were purchased, by the way, at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord.
That wasn't so subtle, Dan. Solid 7-pin for Steve.
Slip
now,
right on the left.
Is that why he missed that shot with those brand new bowling balls? From where were they again?
No. I'll bring it up later when he throws a strike with them.
Dan, for those of you who aren't in on this particular joke, is the co-owner, is that the title you're going by now?
Yeah, that's the title. Yes. Yeah, Steve Birch and myself, we own Concord now, so I figured I'm going to spend all my time in a bowling lane, might as well own one.
Bob Moran with 2 consecutive wins. Last week beat Skip Paranto with a 381, and the week before he beat Bob Francoeur with a 402, including a 167 opener.
Well, still looking for our first mark. The early stages of this championship. Valley Window and Siding Championship. Very nice of the people of Valley Window and Siding, Haverhill, Massachusetts, to sponsor this ladder.
Thank them for all their support along the way, and seen some good scores, some good matches, and we expect another one here today. Oh, pair of 10s for Steve Vadney, pair of 9s for Bob Moran. Well, here we go. Steve Vadney's first appearance with us was on May 6, 1984, just the 3rd week of the program, and he lost to Rich Dion by 17.
4 horsemen. Crisp spare. Some wood behind it.
Then on August 5th of 84, Steve came back and put back-to-back 400s together, beating Dick Lacerte with a 400 even, and then beating Jim Thibodeau with a 411. Being 9 fell on the spare. Then the following week, Steve lost to Bob Kelly, who rolled a 397. Steve then came back on November 3rd of 1985, was the #1 seed, and threw a 407, winning a ladder championship from John Waller. And then the last trip here was in November of '85. Steve rolled a 431 to beat Rod Jarvis. Then he beat John Levy the next week. And then in the third week, he lost to Jack Ray, 413 to 385. So a total record of 5-3 in the 8 previous appearances for Steve Vadney here.
As you saw, our lob line judge this week, Skip Peranto, went down and cleared that piece of wood. This is what happens when you lose on our show. We make you stick around and become the lob line judge. It's your penance.
And Bob Moran is right on the 10-pin for his first mark.
A little full and 7 fill, 3, 4, 6.
So an early lead for Steve Vadney. It'll be 5 plus this fill.
Another solid 9-pin drop with those new bowling balls. This time he leaves a 7-pin. Steve.
No. Doesn't matter if they're new or not. You still have to throw them accurately. Right, Dan?
Steve and I are good friends, and I'm going to pack that one right up my sleeve, and someday I'm going to say, Steve, you remember the 7-pin with a plank in front?
This time he'll look at the 5-pin, and he may get a clean shot at it. We'll see.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. Blame me for that one, I think.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, boy.
Well, if he hits the cap, it should drive it right back.
Yeah, it's almost like shooting a single.
He had it all the way. Now I don't feel so bad. Three spares for Steve Vadney, and we'll take a look over the right shoulder of Bob Moran on lane 32.
Running into a little bit of the stuff that he ran into last week. A little heavy on the head pin and coming up with some tough spare leaves. 4, 6, and 10.
Nicely
done. Not so tough. And not so tough when you're Bob Moran. Splits the wood perfectly. One piece takes the 4-pin, the other takes a 6 and a 10 for a well-deserved spare. And I'll have another shot at another split, but this time a little easier. Three, 4. Wood in between. If he's on the 3-pin, he's got a good chance of making it. Nice shot. This is called the Bob Moran Clinic. Make that spare. 2 fine shots by Bob.
3 spares apiece. Looked like it should have been better.
And it's getting worse by the minute. That piece of wood out in front is no help. That'd be high on the left-hand tip, turn it, drive it back. No. Oh, he got it. I thought he was too low. It was enough to slide it into the 5-pin and then into the 9. Just enough.
Steve has that comeback delivery.
Yeah, it's almost like a screwball in baseball. Ball breaks from left to right, which is not really a normal for a right-hand bowler. Most of them break right to left. Nice try.
Well, we'll have to see what the ball does here. It's going to stay on the plate.
Ooh, he's got a shot here.
It does have a shot. If it keeps spinning. Nope.
I won't say anything about that.
Okay. You got a
But
deal.
if that ball had knocked that pin down. Oh, Skip, that's not going to make it up to ball return. Oh, he just made it.
It's a nice effort. Steve even got a chuckle out of that one. Takes it out for a 10. Is that how they used to do it before they were automatic?
I think so, but use it a little more oomph. He's a big boy. He should.
Bob Moran on the spare in the 6th.
Doesn't
and
like
he
it.
knew he had missed it.
Turned away immediately, but 7-pin drop, 1, 2, and 10. Makeable shot.
The difference right now. Oh, he'd love to see that 6-pin kick out of there.
Almost. The ball just went by that 7. He was really trying to split the 2 and the 4, but almost got away with it.
Steve Vadney for his final 2 in the first string. Oh, wow. Pow.
Thought about that one.
Yep.
Nice shot over the shoulder of Steve Vadney. 1-3 pocket, and doesn't take long for him to go. Nice ball by Steve. Looking for a double.
Got it.
Oh, carbon copy of the last one. This time he trips the 4. It's a long time. We're talking about a long time since we've had a triple strike on one of our shows.
Looking pretty good. Ooh, wow. How quickly it can change.
Be well over 150.
And that's a 153 for Steve Vadney. So Bob Moran has the trick turned on him. He tried 2 weeks ago with that big string in the first, and Bob is right back with a spare leave on the 310.
Well, he's not going to win this first game, but he can cut the lead down considerably with a couple marks. There's one. $107 in the 9th plus this fill.
Oh, wow.
5.
Missed it. Steve Vadney will have the lead after 1. Bob Moran takes him out for a 122, but he will trail by 31. The big 153 double strike in the last 2 for Steve Vadney. And there's the difference after 1 string. We're back with the middle string and more details on our bonus ball jackpot right after these messages. Jackpot. Hope you have your postcards in. If not, here's the address. And send regulation-size postcards only. Every once in a while, Dan tries to sneak in one of those huge ones that's about 3 feet wide. And I have to throw those away, Dan. I'm sorry. Regular postcards only. Your name, address, and a number from 1 to 10. And mail them into Sandy's Bowling Lanes, Route 28, Windham, New Hampshire, 03087. We throw them in the box, and hopefully you come out a winner, either with the cash in the jackpot or with a TV50 NHCBA desk pen. Bob Moran, ready to start us off in the middle string. And does so with a bang.
Well, when you're 31 pins down, that's one way to start the second game off. And a nice way it is. Trips that 6-pin for the strike. Would like nothing more than a double. Looks good, looks good.
Let's say, no, just falling behind the 5-pin.
Just missed that kingpin. Right on it. Nice start by Bob Moran. Strike spare.
That's how to put the pressure on. Steve Vadney. Trying to answer with a strike of his own, and got it.
Oh, wow. Looked like the 7 and the 8, and wood was just enough to nudge that 8-pin into the 7. You see the replay. Wood coming across way from behind. Just enough.
This time through the middle.
2, 4, 7 with the 10-pin. Well, Bob Moran's gained 1 pin back anyways.
Yeah, good thing he got that.
Yeah.
Strike spare.
Now he's got a chance to gain a few more because he's working on a spare. Thrown 2 terrific first balls these first 2 frames. Let's see if he can keep it up. Oh, boy.
Could have been worse.
That's the ball he wanted, the first ball. Well, talked about end of the show last week about trying to grind out those 10 boxes, and that's what he's trying to do here. Oops, 9. And 7 with the kingpin, the 5 piece of wood. Got to try to cap that wood. And hopefully the ball is going to move the 5 or the 4 or 7. Have the wood take the other one. No.
That was a very delicate shot.
Good 10 by Bob.
2 open frames this time for Steve Vadney to work on.
Seven pin all alone. Boy, he's I think he's thinking about the 7 pins.
Steve Vadney in his 8 previous appearances. Wait until he finishes this box.
Oh,
with a strike. That didn't take long to finish, did it?
No, I didn't have to worry about the 7 pin there.
Steve Vadney with a strike up in the 4th. Bob Moran at 53 through 4. We're in the middle string. $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up. The Valley Window and Siding Championship rolls on after these messages. During his 8 previous appearances on the show, plus the first string today, Steve Vadney has averaged 130.4 per string, and Bob Moran, who has finished 7 strings with us now in this stretch, has averaged 129.3 in the last 2 weeks, plus the first string today.
Wow. So that means this match will be 390 to 387.
Right. Well, that took all the suspense out of it, didn't it?
Well, let's see what Bob has to do with this. Whether he tries to split the 3 and the 6, which he's having a lot of success in doing, or there's a piece of wood behind the 2. That means it's going to jump toward the 3 and the 6 if he hits it flush. Now he's going to try to go 3-6. Whoop. Nice try.
And by the way, the average for Bob Moran did not include his 390, which of course is a 130 average for 3 strings, when he first came and lost to Jack Ray by 3 pins. So both of them right around 130 on the program. You average 130 for very long, you're going to win some money.
That's for sure. Oh, there's a double.
Second double of the day for Steve Vadney in his 5th strike overall.
You see the replay, and just no doubt about it. Again, looking for 3 in a row. Comes this way.
Oh, that's a tough shot because that pin moved off the spot. Ordinarily, that would have gone the way he played it. Bob Moran. He's had a lot of these leaves.
Yeah, what's happening is the ball is spinning. It's not grabbing the lane and breaking back in for him. It's kind of sliding off to the right. He's not getting the real good pin action, and the ball's not helping him too much. Now, there's two schools of thought on that. Is either to slow down the speed of the ball, let the ball grab the lane a little more, break sharper, or move on the approach a little bit, give yourself a different angle. But Bob's been around the game long enough to know what he wants to do and feel comfortable, what adjustment to make. He's still on the head pin, so. And now you get over lane 31, and we get a whole different story over here because the ball seems to slide a lot more. Solid in the 1-2 pocket, 9-pin drop. It's there.
That's mark number 7 for Bob Moran. 6 of them have been spares. But meanwhile, Steve Vadney has 9 marks, and 5 of them have been strikes, including 2 doubles.
2 doubles. When you have 2 doubles against you in a 3-game match, it's pretty tough to come back unless you can throw a double of your own. Oh, what a shot.
Wow, leaving the 2-pin. The lead now is an even 50. You had 31 pins coming in and an extra 19 here in the second. And there's strike number 6.
Steve turns around and says, that's all I can get is strikes. That's like saying, that's all I got in my pocket is $50 bills, you know? I wouldn't worry too much about it. Oh, that's a quick one. On spare, too.
Right.
Well, he needs his own double here. Try to cut into that lead. Boy, this is a quick one. Wow. A little full. He turned as soon as he saw the ball going in. And he liked those two pieces of wood kind of freeze together. Now, left-hand piece of wood. Left-hand tip, I would say. That's what he's trying to do.
Nope. Bob's going to have a pretty good string, but he's probably going to end up losing more ground. It's a 135.
And you throw 122 and 135, and you're going to lose both games.
Well, Steve Vadney has 4 strikes in this second string. He's just become the 9th bowler to throw 4 in one string here on Stars and Strikes. The last to do it was Bob Moran 2 weeks ago.
And we still have a whole game to go.
Oh,
wow.
Almost again with the 2-pin. The record for most strikes in a match by one bowler is 7. That's been accomplished many times, and Steve has 6 already.
.510. Piece of wood. 5-pin could be the problem here. Yeah.
Yep.
Wood was out just a little too far. Couldn't see enough of it to have the ball drive through that piece of wood into the 5. Well, 145 is not too shabby.
Steve is going to have a very nice cushion for himself heading into the 3rd and final string with $1,000 on the line. Steve Vadney with a 298 through 2. And Bob Moran at 257, which isn't too shabby either. We'll be back with the 3rd and deciding string on this Valley Window and Siding Championship match right after these messages. $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up. And on down the line, you see it in the previous weeks in this Valley Window and Siding Championship. So Steve Vadney has things all his way right here with a 41-pin lead with 1 string to go.
Well, Bob Moran's got another one of those 167s in his pocket. He should try to use it right now.
Probably wishing he had saved some of it.
No.
I know, but it may not matter the way Steve Vadney is going. That's Steve's first spare in a while. He'd gone 13 boxes without a spare, but in the meantime, he'd had 6 strikes.
Well, he just threw a 145 game with no spares and only 4 marks. 9 on 1 strike, double strike with 8 and 9, and another strike with 9.
And another spare
now he's
after
going
a 9 drop.
Now he's going the spare route, spare 9, spare.
Bob Moran trying to keep plugging away here. 147 with wood in between.
Oops, dropped a little bit behind himself. That's what he wanted to do. Nice out. You see that on the replay. Head pin, ball goes down, takes the 4 and the 7 with the help of the wood in front. And it's almost time for Bob to start a string of strikes here.
There's one. Got to start with the first one.
1-3 pocket, ball breaking back, nice and tight, 3/4 on that head pin. That's the ball Bob likes to throw. Steve Vadney, spare 9, spare up, looking for the fill.
Could be another 9 drop. It is.
Ho-hum, another 9.
And ho-hum, another 400 triple for Steve Vadney, it appears. He only needed 102.
It's already at a 118 clip. And another. Go back in the records for the highest 3 strings, but I think he's got a long road to hoe. Rick Farwell, was it? It's Peter Flynn, I believe, 482. Rick Farwell was right behind him with 481. Another 9-pin drop.
And Peter Flynn is 3rd highest also with a 459.
He's got a shot at all of them, really. Gonna have to monster this last game.
Keeps getting 19 in every box. He's got a shot at it.
Finally nails that 7-pin down. It's been eluded him a couple times. You know, we go back and look, he missed one with a piece of wood in front of it, a 7-pin, and missed another 7-pin clean for spares. And he could be working on a monstrous total.
This is on a strike for Bob Moran, and he's got a shot at it. 7, 9, 10 with an angled piece of wood next to the 9. Nope.
Really, for all intents and purposes, I really think the match is, well, it's not over mathematically, but he's got to throw some strikes. 61 pins, got to spare up. It's a matter of how far Steve Vadney is going to go over 400.
Well, 7, 8, 10 this time for Bob Moran.
Try the other side.
More wood.
Show us one, Bob.
He does.
Yes.
And we will take a break right here. 4 boxes through the third string. 57 with a spare up for Steve Vadney, 37 in a spare up for Bob Moran, and we'll be back to finish it off here in the ladder championship match right after these words. Vadney to go to that last commercial. He wanted to just keep going. He's got 4 in a row here.
I don't blame him.
Well, he didn't break his momentum. Another 9 drop. That's 4 in a row. Somebody in the crowd said, this is getting boring.
I should be so lucky to have it this boring. He's got more pins in 2 games. A lot of people get in 3.
This time a 6-pin all by itself, no problem. 5 in a row.
Must be the color of those bowling balls.
I'll tell you something, they really reflect and spin as the kaleidoscopic effect as they go down the lane. This time only 7 as Steve is in the throes of a slump here.
Four, 7, and 8. He's got it.
That's
6 in a row.
And a 93 half with a spare up in the 6th. Now I think it would be safe to say that Steve could make plans for that $1,000 check.
Well, if I was a betting man, which I'm not.
That's right, and as pointed out many times before.
I would, I'd give him
on a spare.
I'd give him $500 for his check, his share of the check. 1-5.
Nice try by Bob Moran. Very quietly, he's going to have a nice triple himself. Probably up over 360 or 370, but
All
Steve Vadney passed that about 3 boxes ago.
Steve right now is at 401. 401 plus the fill in the 6th frame.
He'll still have a lot of work to do, though, to beat that high triple of 482 by Peter Flynn.
He needs a few of his strikes that he was getting the first 2 games.
He would figure to at least finish with the 3rd highest triple. The 3rd highest right now is 459, also by Peter Flynn.
Get it, Bob. Oh, boy.
And the 9-pin is still there. Steve Vadney just has a whopping lead right now, but it's just a question of the final score. Take a look over Steve's shoulder at this one.
There's the strike. 7 marks in a row. 6 spares and a strike.
Steve's feeling it right now. That's 7 strikes in the match, tying the record.
Throws another strike here and gonna have a new high triple.
Almost. He's jumping up and down for that 4-pin. It'll stay there, though.
Gonna have to give Carol Downey some help on the scoreboard with this string.
Another
8
one.
in a row.
Wow. 18 marks overall.
Bob Moran turned to us and says, "I don't want to play anymore." Good sport. Take out the white flag. Let's get this over with, Bob says.
Well, Bob himself did it to Bob Francoeur a couple of weeks ago with a 167 opening string and a 72-pin lead and just coasted home from there. But this time he's on the other end.
Steve Vadney is 441 with the ball coming in the 8th.
The magic number, high triple, is 482. That's what Steve's shooting for right now. He needs a 185 to beat that.
He's going to need some strikes.
Seems like we're asking a lot. I mean,
well,
he's got 8 marks in a row.
I mean, he had spare 9, spare 9, spare 9, spare 9. Why couldn't have them in strikes? I mean, if he can get 9 of them, why can't...
All right. Crowd will be into this now.
Yeah.
Everybody in the place knows what Steve Vadney is doing at this point, and everybody who is kind of around here at Sandy's is now watching.
Looks good. A little light.
No, this is going to be the toughest shot he's had all string.
This is for 9 marks in a row. 3, 5, 6, and 10. Oh!
Almost.
Whoa.
Easy,
He
Dan.
missed it, and I almost fell off my stool. I was rooting as hard as he was for it to go down.
159 with 1 box to go, and a round of applause for the 8 marks in a row for Steve Vadney.
Well, double and 6 will give him the 185.
Well, he's just passed Peter Flynn for the 3rd best triple, as he's up over 460 now. And it will be a 168 and a 466.
Ho-hum. Another day at the office. 466.
Well, that's now 9 times Steve has been on with us, and 5 times he has 400 or more, and that's the best he's ever done.
And that'll raise his average on the show up over that 130 mark, that's for sure. Fantastic total by Steve Vadney.
And oh, by the way, a check for $1,000.
Oh, he's going to give that to the Doug Brown and Danny Murphy charity, but
We can speak to him about it.
Yeah.
Oh, these new tax laws coming in.
Yeah, sure.
We want to make sure you're protected.
Oh, boy. 5-7 for Bob.
And Bob is going to be up.
Wow, I was just going to mention, he's going to have a tremendous total on a losing effort. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
right down to the
wow.
last box. What a champ.
It'll be a 10. And a 120 for a 377. But Bob Moran just running into a buzzsaw named Steve Vadney today. 466 and the $1,000 first place check in the Valley Window and Siding Championship. We'll be back for the check presentations and the bonus ball jackpot contest right after these words. Weeks ago, and then a 381 last week, but today he slumped to a 377 and it cost him.
Wow, 377 win a lot of matches, but not today. Unfortunately, there's no defense in this game. If I was Bob, I would have tackled him or something. That's about all he could do today with Steve Vadney.
All right, Steve Vadney, the winner of our Valley Window and Siding Championship. Time now to meet and talk briefly with both the bowlers. First of all, two-time champion and 377 today, Bob Moran. Bob, and Bob coming up to visit us from Billerica again, and we really appreciate your being here. I know it didn't probably turn out in this match the way you would have liked, but as Dan said, there's not much defense that you can do.
Well, I don't mind the way it turned out, the way Steve bowled. The man threw so many strikes, I felt like a punching bag there for a while. Thought I might have a chance when he stopped striking, but that's an old-fashioned butt kicking, yes, yes.
Well, here's something to soothe the memory, perhaps a little bit, Bob. Check for $500 as the runner-up, and also a copy of Jim Fairhurst's new book, care of John Grapponi Ford Incorporated in Concord, and also the runner-up version of our plaque from the N&R Trophy Company of Winchendon. Some great bowling during the 3 weeks you were here. We appreciate your efforts, and we hope to see you back again real soon. Don't make it so long the next time.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, Bob Moran from Billerica has been our two-time champion, dropping the championship match today to this man, Steve Vadney, over on lane 31. We're going to try and see if we can win some more money here for one of you at home. $90 in the jackpot, and wouldn't you know?
What a show-off.
I'm not sure, but I think that's the first time anybody's ever gotten applauded for rolling that one ball for the contest. It'll not be a match, though, for Mildred McLaughlin from Lowell, who chose a 5. Not today, Mildred. It had to be a strike. And so that means we'll be going up to $100 next week, and Mildred will be getting a TV50 NHCBA desk pen, and Stephen, a 466. That's the third best triple we've ever had here, and I know you were a little concerned at one point because you weren't getting any spares, but it turned out okay.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's the way you can just throw strikes, and, you know, then all of a sudden, here come the spares, you know.
And then you had a streak there in the third string where you were getting 9 drops all the time.
Yeah, and I missed 3 7-pins, if I remember right. And you know, every time a single came up to me, I said, "Oh no."
Yeah, Dan wanted to mention that one that you missed did have a piece of wood in front of it.
Right, a big piece of wood too.
Well, you're a true bowler with a 466, and you're still thinking about the ones you missed, but a great triple nonetheless.
Thank you.
And we have a check for you for $1,000, which Dan Murphy has been guarding here. Oh, that's right, yes. We'll give it to you after all. Copy of the book and the winner's version of the plaque from the N&R Trophy Company in Winchendon. You're now 6-3 in your 9 times here, and 5 of those 6 times you've thrown 400. I get the feeling you like it here.
Yeah, it's all right here, and I think it's the only times I lose is when I don't hit 400.
That's right. That's right. So you know exactly what you have to do when you come in. Right. Steve, congratulations. A terrific job, and I know everybody would like to give you another round of applause. Steve Vadney.
Thanks a lot. Oh,
right.
By the way, Dan, those red balls, they're not for sale.
Yes, welcome to the home of shameless plugs here. And Candlepin, Stars and Strikes, Dan Murphy, closing word briefly. We knew Steve Vadney would be tough, and he certainly proved it.
Am I supposed to talk about those bowling balls? No. The only good news, I think, that came out of the match is that you and I weren't up there bowling against Steve. But there was, he was not to be denied today. He was just tremendous. Every ball on the head pin or in the pocket, and well deserved to win, 466.
Well, just to recap, Steve, of course, takes the $1,000 first prize and the total purse of $2,000 during this Valley Window and Siding Championship, and we want to thank all of the folks down at Valley Window and Siding in Haverhill for all their help in promoting and assisting us in this championship series. We will be back next week as you see the final determination there. Steve Vadney living up to that #1 seed ranking with that big 466 today. Next week, we'll be back with a brand new ladder championship series with 6 brand new bowlers, and we'll be telling you more about that next Sunday at 12 noon. But until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV50 Sports crew, bye-bye, everybody from Sandy. See you next week.